Welcome. I'm Nid, a karma guide, and I support people with how they can be their fullest, most authentic self in this lifetime, whether that's through embodiment practices, spiritual awakening, or through the expression of your work and how it is that you serve the world. In this video, I want to talk with you about the light body. Now, being a light worker, as it sometimes is called, was one of those phrases I never really connected with, but kind of did. And maybe you feel the same, or you naturally know, oh yeah, I'm a light worker. But what does that actually mean, and how does that look? And if you don't really get the whole light worker thing, like, is this even relevant to you? And so the first thing we're going to just touch on is what is the light body, as to whether or not you're someone who is therefore a person who works with light. The light body is the energetic structure that is bigger than your soul and helps bring in the energy that forms your soul. So I often explain to my soul realignment clients that their soul is made up of unique energy, where that expression is a bit like the rainbow. We are all made of the colours from the rainbow, and they may be a unique version of pink. And what is aligned for a pink soul is not going to be the same as what is aligned to a green soul. And so that's why making the same choice as someone else doesn't necessarily align one person with their soul, whereas it may another. And so we need to be careful with how it is that we lay out the choices on our path. When you are working with the light body, you're working with the structure that brings light through to your soul to form up your soul, which is then going to be what starts to form your astral field and your body to become this karmic story, which is your astrology or your human design profile, or whatever kind of life profile we're looking at, which is very much looks at the geography and the stars in alignment when you're born to give you an idea of the kind of patterns that you're going to live along and break through at your life. So having explained these things, I'm eventually getting to this light body part, which is this light that forms your soul, which then forms your body. So this is a bigger energetic structure that we're working with, which is closer to spirit, to God, the divine, whatever it is that you want to call that cosmic energy that is flowing through and around all of us and creating form and non-form. When we work with the light body, we are working much closer to source, so we can have a much bigger impact on ourselves and on the energy around us. And light workers will train in certain light frequencies that can help elevate consciousness. So some of the yogic spiritual teachings will talk about how light is the only energy that travels through the void. So this is the energy of God, of spirit, and it is through light that creation happens, that creation and consciousness is experienced, and consciousness is just experiencing itself. So light therefore is a way in which consciousness can experience itself. And when we work with light, we are working with consciousness. So we are working with elevating consciousness in human form, and how it is that we can integrate light into our physical being through our soul. So we go light into the soul, into the body, and then we express and share from this place. From here, we can start to see that actually working with light is a really important part of how we elevate consciousness and how we can connect and integrate in a more embodied way. Because consciousness isn't about going up and out into space. We can see that actually it's also coming down and in and really being grounded and really living in this reality. And in this reality, that isn't the illusion that you're separate, but is the reality that we are all the same, that we are all part of the oneness of energy and consciousness, or however it is that your belief might want to put together that structure of our interconnectedness. So working with the light body is a really wonderful and profound gift that you can bring to many people. For a long time, I got the connection and the resonance with the light worker title I kind of understood it, but I didn't really know what it actually realized itself in my life. And it can realize itself through many expressions. You do not need to be teaching consciousness. You just need to be conscious in the way that you share and you interact with others. So you could be a light worker and just practice and work with your light work through meditation, through your conscious elevation practices. Or it might be that you are a light worker who's serving people in the bakery and interacting with someone every day, serving them their bread. But it's the way that you do it that touches them with light. So being a light worker is in every field and in every way an expression on this earth. The key in understanding if you are a light worker and how it is that it can support you in supporting others is that we can become more conscious in training with the light frequencies and with stabilizing our vibrational body so that we can integrate and hold the light frequencies in this physical, emotional, and mental plane of earth, this reality. And that is what I have been training in, and am now here to offer you my interpretation of a very embodied, very integrated way of activating and awakening your light body so that you can be that conscious light and bring more of that to earth and the people that you are here to touch and to radiate to. In my journey of becoming a light body teacher and someone who transmits light, I went from making my yoga nidra practices, understanding I was channeling something, always healing myself by channeling light. And I'd worked with Reiki for many years, so I kind of connected to that Reiki, but not Reiki. I knew that what I was doing was also a little bit bigger than Reiki, a little bit different from what Reiki was teaching me. Because Reiki is close to the body, so it's more in this plane rather than working outside of the soul, outside of this plane to come down energetically. And so in knowing that, I was channeling those yoga nidra practices to bring through light to help things like healing, pain management, and those practices that you guys have loved my shares over the years. And I could see that I was bringing light to situations in the way that I support people in the programs. And I was always drawn to using wording around light, elevating light. And part of this is also because the way I experience the world is so much through how light moves on things. I love watching light dancing on water, the way that trees and leaves move with light. So for me, everything is in light. It's not necessarily color, but it's to do with the movement of light frequency that I see, and I experience that at a very visceral level. For you, you may experience light in a certain way that really helps connect, and you feel this constant drawing, but you're not quite sure what it is. And activating these light centers, energy centers, is going to give you a structure for all your other practices, for everything else that you want to do. Working with my light body doesn't stop me from my Kriya yoga practice. It doesn't stop me from doing my other conscious awakening practices with others. What it is a structure and a framework that holds everything else so that I can expand it out into that larger state, and then I can also bring it back through these other practices so that I'm really holding myself with great integrity and at a bigger picture of consciousness. At a really practical level, it's really shifted such a state of emotional flow and fluidity, just to really ride those waves of emotion and to see myself far less reactive, far more naturally in the flow of light and holding others in it, and being so much more accepting of these moments in life that can bring up a reaction. And when there is a necessary reaction, like when I almost got stranded traveling, really responding fast, not reacting fast, in a way that really supports and serves you, and then clearing that energy really fast. There is an empowerment that comes with being in your light body, and it just holds you at a frequency where you can really hold difficult, challenging situations that are part of your personal growth, your human level growth, so that you can grow into that really amazing person that you already are, but you've forgotten. And this is so important to recognize. You already are this person. You already are this light energy. You've just forgotten it, and you're just accessing it through awakening your light body. And this is part of your empowerment. This is part of the strength that you hold. And through doing light body, I stopped needing protection. I stopped needing to put things around myself to protect myself from difficult people or horrible energies. And I learned how to control the amount of energy that I absorb in my environment, and how I can learn to diffuse it out so it doesn't affect me, but I'm still connected, interacting, and engaged with it. So I'm picking up less of that negative heaviness, and I am more staying in my power, which then means that as I build out my light body, I am holding the frequency to radiate and share and elevate others too. And this is a wonderful gift that we can hold, is that just by being you, just by your presence, hanging around with people, you bring forth this amazing gift. And that is something that I've received more and more and more comments on since I've taken my light body, is how much it's my presence that is the shift for people to be amongst. And you can be that too with awakening your light body. I'm super excited. There's so many things I could say and keep talking about with awakening your light body. But just to even understand that this is something you have to consciously activate. This isn't something that just accidentally happens. It's a conscious connection, because you're bringing greater consciousness through you as well, and in an integrated way. You are not going to be spiritually bypassing, saying I do all this elevated conscious stuff, but actually still being a complete twat when people meet you in person. You're going to be who you're here to actually be. And that is going to be a resonance that is so beautiful, because it comes through the light frequencies, and they're all beautiful and so brilliant and radiant. If you'd like to learn more, please do connect with me, ask any questions. There's an information page in the link below, and I'd love to support you in activating and awakening this part of remembering who you really are, remembering this larger part of all of us, and remembering why you chose to be here at this time, so that you can really create in that energy of inspired light and higher consciousness frequencies. I hope you enjoyed this transmission and have awakened some of the knowledge, some of the remembrance inside of yourself. And I look forward to dancing with you in the inner planes of light.